Hey everybody, Tim Nelson back at Jiu Jitsu Academy in Prairie. We've looked at kind of some positioning, and we just looked at the idea of kind of the concept behind escaping the mount. And I want to do the same thing with back control. Now back control is a really different beast because underneath the mount, it's a position where gravity is really working against me. And while that can be true if I'm being flattened out on my belly, most of the time that's not the case with the back control. So looking at the back, perfect. There's really three places tight back control is controlling me. Of course, he has his hooks in, so he's controlling my hips. He's also controlling my shoulders with his elbows, but in addition to that, if he's really attacking, he's controlling my neck as well with a combination of his head on this side and his shoulder on this side. So that's three places of control. John Danaher has a video where he says his athletes at this, even against opponents at a similar level, they can hold this position for 4, 5, 6 minutes as they pursue a submission. And that's because even if I beat Professor Anderson at the head level, I still am controlled at my shoulders and hips. And even if I beat him at the foot level, if he's tight with his head and his shoulders, it's no guarantee that I escape. So what I need to do is I need to beat two, ideally three, but that's not very realistic, but I need to beat two of these different lines of control. So the first thing we can look at doing is trying to keep my spine straight and just break the connection between mine and his. If his spine doesn't stay aligned with mine, then he can't finish the attack. So if I'm able to get off to the side here, I can touch my shoulder to the mat here. And from this position, I show because it's a very good illustration of what I'm talking about. I need to break the connection with his spine as much as possible, not by moving up or pulling down, but by sliding my shoulders to the mat. And if I can wedge my elbow in across the hips, that's a perfect escape. Now, more than the technique, we need to understand the reason why. I'm beating his control piece by piece. Head, shoulder, then finally hip. Another common escape, if I'm able to, works exactly the same way. If I can start scooting myself down, even if his head control is very tight, if I stop the choke and I scoot underneath, now my head isn't being controlled. And if he tries to use his arms to control my head, then my shoulders are not going to be controlled. And at this point, I can be escaping. So if we want to approach the back control and escape the back control, then we need to understand that it's not enough just to break one level of control unless we're more skilled or much more athletic than our opponent. We need to get past at least two of those different layers of control, being my head control, shoulder control, and hip control. And who knows, we might get into a lucky situation where somebody just isn't applying one of those three levels. So I hope that helps. I know it's not a technique, but as we look at different techniques, keep that approach in mind and focus on that approach as you're trying to apply, and I think that you'll have a lot better success escaping from the back, or at least giving your opponent a hard time. So stay healthy, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing everybody back on the mats.